It's kind of wild to think about, right? Just a couple of years ago, AI, like ChatGPT, it was a text machine. Now, it can see, hear, and talk. That's a huge leap. So today, we're going to unpack how we got from A to B so incredibly fast.
Seriously, think back for a second. It feels like just yesterday, doesn't it? You'd sit down, type something into a box, and boom, you'd get a wall of text back. And that was mind-blowing. But that whole text-only world, it's basically the Stone Age now. The jump from then to now is just, wow.
And this timeline right here, it just lays it all out. In 2023, we were all about LLMs, large language models. Basically, they were masters of words. But flash forward to today, 2026, and we're in the era of LMMs, large multimodal models. That's the big change. It means the AI literally got senses. So, what does that really mean in practice?
Okay, so let's jump in our time machine and head back to 2023. Back then, the chatbot was a pretty incredible partner, but it was a partner trapped in a world of pure text.
I mean, the first big reviews of this thing were spot on. It was a total game changer for anything involving text, right? It could chat with you, and it felt kind of human. It could whip up essays, clean up your grammar. It was an amazing dialogue partner. But here's the kicker. Every single thing it did was through a keyboard. It was totally blind, completely deaf, and had no voice. But man, that didn't last long. What happened next wasn't just some minor update. It was a complete paradigm shift. It's not like getting a slightly better phone. It's like the AI suddenly grew eyes and ears.
And that brings us to this key term you're going to hear a lot, Large Multimodal Model, or LMM. Multimodal sounds fancy, but all it really means is that it can handle different types of information. It's not just about words anymore. Now it can process and create images and audio, and it does it all instantly, in real time. And if you want proof, just look at this. This is the new interface. Check out those buttons. You can add photos, you can create an image from scratch, and see that little microphone icon? That's the voice agent. This thing is not just a text assistant anymore. The sources actually call it a semi-autonomous instructional agent. That's a mouthful, but it means it can perceive the world in a way that's, well, a lot more like us.
So, okay, the AI has senses now. What does that actually get you? Well, it gets a whole new powerful toolkit. And that toolkit is opening up some absolutely fascinating ways for us to learn.
All right, let's make this real. Imagine you're trying to learn a new language. You could stare at a boring vocabulary list, or you could do this. You take out your phone, snap a picture of something cool, like, say, a busy food stall in Singapore, and you just upload it. And check this out. The AI literally looks at the photo and creates a custom vocabulary list just for you. It's seeing the kanji, the dumplings, the noodles, and it's pulling them right out of the image, giving you definitions, sample sentences, the whole 9 yards. This is learning that's actually connected to the real world you see around you.
Oh, but it gets so much better. Why stop at vocabulary? You can take that same picture, that same context, and turn it into a real conversation. So here, the user is like, hey, pretend you're the vendor at this stall, and let's roleplay. And the AI says, sure. But it doesn't just talk back. It agrees to listen and correct your pronunciation and intonation on the fly. I mean, think about that. That kind of on-the-spot practice was pure science fiction just a couple of years back.
So it can see, it can hear, and it can remember. This is huge. The new AI has long-term memory, and that's what makes something called hyper-personalization possible. It's not just a series of one-off chats anymore. The AI actually gets to know you. It learns what you're good at, where you struggle, and it tracks your progress. And this is what that looks like in action. The AI is giving feedback on a student's paper. But look closer. It's not just circling typos or grammar mistakes. It's pointing out big-picture strengths, like clear purpose and logical sectioning. How does it know? Because it's probably comparing this paper to stuff the student has written before. This is next-level adaptive feedback that actually helps you grow. Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But of course, there's a catch. With all this incredible new power, we get a whole new set of problems. It's the classic double-edged sword, and the dangers this time around are a lot sneakier and way more complex. You know, when these tools first came out, the big panic in schools was all about cheating. Oh no, students are going to have AI write their essays. And sure, that's still a thing, but now there's a much deeper worry, something called cognitive offloading. That's the fancy term for just letting the AI do the thinking for you.
When you start relying on it for everything, from brainstorming to even just observing the world, you miss out on that productive struggle. That messy, difficult process is where the real learning happens. And on top of that, the AI is making totally new kinds of mistakes. We're not just talking about it getting a fact wrong in a paragraph. We're now dealing with multimodal hallucinations. This is where the AI looks at a picture or listens to a sound and just gets it wrong, but it does it with so much confidence. It sees a generic shape instead of the unique details. And because it's presenting this information visually or audibly, it's so much harder for our brains to spot the error. Here's a perfect example. Researchers showed the AI a picture of the super famous Marina Reservoir in Singapore. It's incredibly recognizable. But the AI just described it as a generic waterfront city skyline. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's completely useless. It missed all the specific iconic buildings. It saw the pattern, not the reality.
And that right there is the real danger. Like the researchers point out, this isn't just a chatbot spitting out a wrong fact anymore. The mistake comes wrapped in a convincing voice and visual confidence. The AI sounds and looks so certain that we're hardwired to believe it. It basically bypasses our skepticism, which means our own critical thinking has to work overtime.
So, does all this make teachers obsolete? Absolutely not. In fact, it makes them more critical than ever. Their job is just shifting. They're no longer just the source of all knowledge. Now, they're the expert guides we need to navigate this new world of AI-generated everything. And the research gives us a pretty clear game plan for this. Number 1, teachers have to be the gatekeepers, constantly checking if what the AI puts out is actually useful for learning. 2, they've got to redesign assignments to test the stuff AI is bad at, things like personal insights and interacting with the real world. And finally, number 3, they have to protect that productive struggle, making sure students are still the ones doing the heavy lifting mentally. So all of this leaves us with a really big and honestly pretty urgent question. As these tools become a co-pilot for our own minds, shaping how we think, how we create, even how we see the world, we have to keep asking ourselves, who's really flying the plane?